Dear Madam President, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, Madam President, welcome to Azerbaijan. I'm very glad to see you again. We met last year twice at the margins of European political community summits, May and October, and had broad discussions on our bilateral agenda and many other issues. We, by the way, have a very active phase of relationship between European Commission and Azerbaijan. This year, we hosted the President of European Council, Mr. Costa, this March, and then on May, we hosted the Head of European Diplomacy, Madam Kallas, and today, President of European Commission. So I would say this is an unprecedented dynamism in our relationship, which reflects the mutual will of both sides to intensify our cooperation and to strengthen partnership. We highly value relationship with European Commission, and today with Madam President and with delegations, we broadly discussed a very impressive agenda. European Union is Azerbaijan's main trading partner. More than 40% of our trade is with member states. And for European Union, Azerbaijan is the main trading partner in the Southern Caucasus. 70%, almost 70% of trade in the Southern Caucasus is trade with Azerbaijan. Of course, we broadly discussed our cooperation in the field of energy, and the visit of Madam President 4 years ago to Azerbaijan was also very important. From this point of view, we signed MOU on strategic partnership in the energy field, and since that time, Azerbaijan's natural gas export to the European Union member states increased almost 65%. Today, half of our gas export goes to member states of European Union, and in total, 10 members of European Union are recipients of Azerbaijani gas with the potential to expand this geography. Energy security for every country is today a very important factor of national security, and Azerbaijan invested a lot in political efforts, diplomatic activity, and also financial investments in building infrastructure for transportation of our oil and gas. Southern Gas Corridor is a remarkable example of our common activity. 3,500 kilometers of integrated pipeline systems today is the main artery for transportation of natural gas from Azerbaijan to Europe. Connectivity definitely was one of the important parts of our discussions. Azerbaijan is an active participant and initiator in many cases of the regional transportation projects. East-West and North-South transportation corridor cross Azerbaijan, and having good relations with the neighbors and the neighbors of our neighbors allowed us to establish a very broad cooperation format, which is to the benefit of all the actors. Today, the volume of cargo through Azerbaijan in all directions is growing. We invested largely in transportation infrastructure in Azerbaijan and in the neighborhood, and are continuing to do it. And with respect to the new geopolitical situation, we see that there is a need to expand the capacity of our trade seaports, of our railroad infrastructure. We are doing all of that in line with the schedule and with our own financial resources. Relatively new part in our relationship with European Commission is renewables. We also largely discussed it with Madam President, and with the potential of Azerbaijan of solar, wind, and hydropower, and existing already transmission lines and more to be built, we can become also strategic partners. From this point of view, I informed Madam President that the contracts with foreign and local companies signed so far will allow us to have 8 gigawatts of solar and wind energy in next 5-6 years. This is only what has been signed, which is kind of a contractual commitment, but definitely there'll be more. And of course, we discussed largely the regional security issues, especially the normalization process between Azerbaijan and Armenia, which goes successfully. Last August in Washington, in the White House, in the presence of President Trump, Armenia and Azerbaijan signed a joint declaration. President Trump also signed it as a witness, and also Armenia and Azerbaijan initialed the text of the peace agreement. So de facto, peace is done, and we see the benefits. We made many unilateral steps in order to demonstrate that peace is not only on paper, but we can feel it in day-to-day life. Azerbaijan lifted all the restrictions on transit of goods through its territory to Armenia. That restriction was imposed because of occupation of our internationally recognized territories by Armenia. We also started to supply Armenia with a critical fuel, particularly gasoline, diesel. In today's geopolitical situation, it has even bigger importance than ever before. So we are demonstrating that for us, peace is something we can already touch, we can feel it, and we are learning to live in peace. We lived under occupation for 30 years, and we restored our sovereignty and territorial integrity ourselves by force and by political means, and we offered peace to Armenia. So now peace is reality, but we must work hard in order to strengthen it, to make it long-lasting, to make it eternal. And of course, we highly appreciate the support of European Commission, and Madam President also informed me that European Commission can and want to be very helpful, and we appreciate any help, any assistance from this point of view. And I think that that will strengthen the dynamism in the region, that will allow Southern Caucasus to be an area free from any territorial claims, any conflicts, the area of partnership, cooperation, and peace. Once again, Madam President, welcome to Azerbaijan, and wish you a pleasant stay.
Thank you very much, President Aliyev. Thank you for the warm welcome. And it is very good to be back in Baku, this remarkable city, a place where rich and ancient heritage meets striking modern architecture. And it's a reflection of the forward-looking ambitions of today's Azerbaijan. I'm here today to deepen our partnership that matters greatly to the European Union, and one that has real momentum, as the President just described. But first, let me also turn to the most important development in this region in decades, and that is peace. I want to congratulate you for initiating a historic peace agreement with Armenia. You showed personal leadership in promoting peace and cooperation across the region, and it is creating new opportunities for stability, trust, and shared prosperity. The European Union strongly supports this process, and we will continue to do so. Together, we can indeed turn peace on paper into peace in practice, and that's why we're working here today together. And this brings me to my first point today. We want to foster peace through connectivity. We have the Global Gateway Investment Program, and through this Global Gateway Investment Program, we will invest up to 200 million euros in grants for transport, energy, and digital links across the South Caucasus. This has the potential to mobilize up to 2 billion euros in public and private investment. Projects could include the rail connection through Nakhchivan, the developing of the port of Baku, for example. The South Caucasus is one of the world's great crossroads, connecting Europe, the Caspian, and Central Asia. Its strategic importance continues to grow, and Azerbaijan has a central role to play. Few countries are as well placed as yours to drive regional cooperation and stability. Azerbaijan tactfully combines its strategic geography, its growing economic, political, and regional influence, and that is why we are proposing to launch an EU-Azerbaijan connectivity partnership. This goes hand in hand with a high-level connectivity dialogue, a dialogue that covers transport, energy, and digital connectivity. We will also work on the organization of a regional connectivity investment conference, preferably right here in Baku, and thus bringing together Europe, the South Caucasus, and Central Asia. My second point is an announcement of a new 20 million euro peace fostering program. Together we want to help peace take root in the region, to make the benefits of peace visible and tangible in people's everyday lives, those who live in border regions. We will invest in better healthcare, for example, with the procurement of ambulances. We will focus on safety through demining. We will invest in strong local communities through rural development, water management, precision farming, you name it, and of course the support for small and medium enterprises. Let me also turn to energy. It remains one of the strongest pillars of our partnership. In recent years, Azerbaijan has proven to be a reliable, trusted energy partner to the European Union. We have not forgotten that at a time when Russia weaponized energy and turned off the gas for Europe, Azerbaijan stepped up. The Southern Gas Corridor indeed strengthened Europe's energy security, and it is a remarkable success story. And I want to thank you for that. Now we are preparing the next chapter. Azerbaijan is investing in the energy of the future, such as your plans to develop offshore wind energy in the Caspian Sea. You have both the ambition and, of course, the potential to become a hub for clean electricity. And this fits perfectly with Europe's own clean transition. So we see enormous potential to deepen the cooperation on renewables, on electricity interconnections, and on regional energy networks. We welcome your plans to build a green energy corridor linking Azerbaijan with the European Union. Greater renewable generation can also free up more gas for export and thus help reinforce regional energy security by sharing with the neighbors. We very much welcome also your suggestion of an electricity cable to Armenia. This is a very interesting point. So what I'm describing is basically renewables are powering the future of our economies, and here in the South Caucasus, they can also power to help peace. Finally, we discussed how to deepen the economic partnership. The European Union is already Azerbaijan's largest trading partner and biggest investor. Now we want to build on that. The resumption of discussions on a new comprehensive agreement is an important step. This can open opportunities for even more trade between Azerbaijan and the European Union, and we will work together to make progress happen. So, President Aliyev, the European Union believes in a bright future for this region. Let us work together for peaceful South Caucasus, for South Caucasus connected to Europe, the Caspian and Central Asia, and for an ever stronger partnership between us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.